The frequency will ask.
Okay, read a new sabak, inshallah, bismillah. Okay, read a little bit of yourself, sabak, we see. Read from there. وَالْمَفْرُوضُ فِي مَسْحِ الرَّأْسِ مِقْدَارُ النَّاسِيَةِ وَوَرُضُ الرَّأْسِ. Read from there. We done it yesterday. We done it. Okay, read it again. مغيرة بن شعبة. Okay, translate what, explain to me what you read there. Okay, Bismillah. Listen, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. قال والمفروض في مسح رأسي مقدار الناسية وورب رأسي. What is compulsory with regards to making masa? So we discussed the verse earlier. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم. So the Quran speaks about making masa of the head, but exactly how much? How much? We told you masa means to pass a wet hand, al-isabatu, right? Now, how much exactly must you cover when you make masa, etc., right? Right, مقدار ناسية وهو ربع الرأس. So the Hanafi's finding is that it is 1/4 of the head. You must make masa of 1/4 of the head, right? Why? What is the proof? The proof is لما روى المغيرة بن شعبة, because that is مؤنث is غير منصرف. It's supposed to be المغيرة بن شعبة because مضاف مضاف إليه. ابن شعبة is supposed to be, isn't it, right? But because it is got ta'nis on there, it is غير منصرف. So because لما روى المغيرة بن شعبة, because of what مغيرة بن شعبة writer أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أتى سبات قوم فبال وتوضأ ومصى على ناصيته وخفيه. Right, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, once when they went in jihad, he came to the dump of a people when they were out in jihad. Remember those, a dump, yeah. There was no formal toilets. Fabala, he passed water. Watawadda'a, he made wudu. Wa masa ala nasiyatihi, and he made masa on his forehead. So this hadith is saying that Nabi sallallahu on his forehead. Now we know that forehead and the head is different. And we know that masam has been made on on the head, not on the forehead. So obviously we can't take it in the literal sense that he made masa on his forehead. It means he made masa to the extent of his forehead. And why there are these, remember I told you before that sometimes you read about one proof here, doesn't mean there's only one proof. There are many other proofs. Like it in the Sharia they mentioned that like 1/4 is a significant number. Like I told you that in the if 1/4 or more, remember we were discussing about the neck, we said that the ladies today they are negligent with regards to just under the chin. That portion is exposed, where it's not part of the face, it's part of the neck, and only the face is not part of the aura in the Hanafi madhab. I explained to the Muslim, I told you, if 1/4 or more of a limb, but when we do this later on, inshallah, we'll do more detail of this, is exposed for the duration of 3 tasbees. And then what is 3 tasbees? Ulama say, Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Or if you slowly open your 3 fingers like this. So if 1/4 or more of a limb, any limb, whether it's the hair, whether it is the neck, whether it is the thighs, or whether it is the shins, 1/4 or more of a limb is exposed for 3 tasbih or more, then that will nullify the salah. So you see, what we're saying is there are other proofs also. What you term as the mutawwalat. Here, Sahib Hidaayah, as he mentioned, he told you he condensed it. So this is just one proof, right? That that Nabi Sallallahu made on one part of the head, right? Wal kitabu mujmalun faltahaqa bayanan bihi. So what I'm saying there is the kitab, the Quran of Allah Ta'ala, it is silent with regards to the exact amount of masa. It is silent with regard to the exact amount of masa. We learn it from the Sunnah. We learn it from the Sunnah. Okay, read the next one. Yeah, this is 3 to 10. Remember the ma'dud is jama and its opposite. Right. وَحُجَّةٌ عَلَى الشَّافِعِيِّ فِي التَّقْدِيرِ بِثَلَاثِ شَعَرَاتٍ. And this is a clear proof against Hazrat Imam Shafi rahimahullah ta'ala in fixing it with 3 hairs. So Imam Shafi say that you make masa, 3 hairs is good enough. So according to the Shafi madhab, even if you don't take your topi out, you can just take 3 hairs here. You just cover 3 hairs like that, it will be done. For the ladies also, this is easy for them. Maybe if they're in a public space, they don't want to take off the scarf, they can just put their hand under and just make masa of three. It will be easy, right? So, وحجة على الشافعي في التقدير بثلاث شعرات. This is a clear proof against the Shafi madhab, who says that it is just three. You make masa on 3 hairs is sufficient. In fact, just here, Kitab al is one of the main books of the Shafi madhab. Is written there, إذا مسح الرجل بأي رأسه right شعان كان لا right شعان كان لا شعر عليها وبأشعر رأسه شاء بإصبع واحد أو بعض إصبع, that he can even do with one finger whatever, so long as he just covered it, it will be good enough, right? Then carry on. Right. So this is also a proof against the Mamalika, who says وَعَلَى مَالِكٍ فِي اشْتِرَاطِ الْإِسْتِعَابِ. The Malikis now say you have to make of the whole head. We got a sheikh there by the shop. She's from Nigeria. Remember, North Africa is mostly Malikis. Remember that North Africa. That's why you see like Nigeria, Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco, and those are mostly Malikis. So you see how he sits when he makes a massage. He takes his hand and he rubs his whole head from bottom, and he goes like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And he's making sure that he covers his whole head properly. So this is the Maliki madhab. The hadith say, وَخَيْرُ الْأُمُورِ أَوْسَطُهَا. The best thing is the middle road. So the Hanafis are in the middle. You're not on the one extreme that you have to make massage of your whole head, and not on the other extreme of the Shafis that you can just suffice with what? With 3. وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً wasata. So the Hanafis are the ummati wasata. They take the middle road in everything. You see, as we go through the sabak, we'll show you that the Hanafis, they take the middle road, not extreme as the Malikis, not at the other extreme like the Shawafi, the 73 years, right? لأنها أكثر. It's a خبر of أكثر. لأنها أكثر. Right. Can you explain what he's saying there? Tell me, see if you can work it out what he's saying. Right. Very good, mashallah. So some of our Hanafi ulama, we say, what they say is, look here, if you see, take your hand like this, you see, if you take 3 fingers and you look at the area of 3 fingers, look at the area of 3 fingers. If you cover that much of masa on your head, then your masa is done. Your masa is done. And what is the reasoning? The reasoning is that it's here, you make masa with your hand, right? And you make masa in particular with your fingers, right? And 3 fingers is the maximum, is the greater of 5 fingers. It's the greater of 5 fingers. So lil akthar yahmul kul. So like for example, if you got maybe 3 apples there, and then you ate two apples. I say, yeah, you ate all the apples up because you ate most of it, because two is most of it. So when you make masa with three fingers, that is the greater of five fingers. So it means as though you made masa with all your fingers. And if you made masa with all your fingers, as though you made masa with the entire hand. And the hand is the ala, it is the instrument. So you use the instrument to its fullest. So when you use the instrument to its fullest, that means you have attained what you are required to do. So this, but okay, the fatwa is not on this. Remember, I told you. So normally when you get like this here, وفي بعض الروايات قدره بعض أصحابنا بثلاث أصابع. أصابع is غير منصرف because مفاعل is كده. You with me now? Right? لأنها أكثر ما هو الأصل في then it shows you that it's not the fatwa is not on that. Read the next ibarat. Come again. No, it says في بعض الروايات. You got in your kitab, let me see. So, Zahiri right, means comes from the usul, ne? So that means that according to this, we can check it up. If you got what you call tahqiqi mizaj, you got the mizaj to check things up, then you go and check in the books. One day, inshallah, you will reach that stage, inshallah. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to start sunan. We're going to start the sunan. Now, while we on this, see, faraz means that thing, if it is not done, so anything you do in Shariat, you do your fasting, you do your salat, you do your ghusl, you do your taharat. The acts are of different categorizations. Faraz is also similar to a rukn. It is that thing, if it is not there, then that thing will cease to exist as an entity. Like you, for example, your faraz is your head. If I take your head away, are you still Luqman? You're the body of Luqman. If I take your heart away, you're not Luqman anymore. You are the body of Luqman. So faraz refer to that thing is an integral component of something. If it is not there, that thing ceases to exist like what it's supposed to be. So the four things we discussed now, these are the farais of wudu. If you take any one of those away, right, then your wudu is not done at all. Then you get sunnat. Sunnat is those things that if you take them away, right, although technically there's two types of sunnat in the Hanafi madhab, you get sunnate mu'akkada, but this is more for ibadat, not with regards to taharat in it. This is more for ibadat. So you get to emphasize sunnat, but when we come to this, inshallah, in the bab of ibadat, we'll explain more about that when we come to that bab. But sunnat means like it is if you do it, the thing will still be accomplished, your wudu will be accomplished. Sorry, if you don't do it, it will still be done, but it will be bereft of something important. Like similar to understand like this, I'll give you an example. If you hungry, we can give you a plate of rice. You'll eat a plate of rice, you get full. But was it food lekker? Did you enjoy itself? You wanted your curry with it, you wanted your potatoes with it, you want your meat with it, and you wanted your coke with it. Now you say I don't like a chow. So same thing here. If you if you make wudu, you only wash the four things. Yes, your wudu is done. Your wudu is done. You can read the mass, but is it a nice wudu? Was it like a chow? Did you feel when you said Alhamdulillah after that, and you know that Alhamdulillah came from your heart because you really enjoyed yourself. Where I gave you a plain piece of rice. You got full, but then Alhamdulillah, that's why our Ustad Mufti Jalili taught us Hidaayah 3. He should say, when you drink water, drink cold water, drink nice water. Because when you say Alhamdulillah, it's going to come from your heart because you really enjoyed it. Because you really enjoy it. It's not because you just say Alhamdulillah because you have to say, but it's going to come from your heart because you really enjoyed it. So when you have it curry, you must have it coke. You say Alhamdulillah, you really enjoy it. You see? So anyway, so we're saying like how you have that extras now. You want your meat, you want your achar, you want your salad, you want your papar, all that stuff. All of that things it increases the taste of the food, but it doesn't mean without that it's not food. You're still gonna get the like this. We have the sunan, we have the mustahabbat, etc., etc. So I was saying, sunan means those things which Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam practiced upon, and it increases the ibadat in its beauty. Although if it is excluded, it does not mean that the ibadat is not accomplished. You understood that, right? So wasunanu taharati. Carry on. Right. So the first sunnah is uh, remember, ghasal means to wash, and ghusl means to bathe. Ghaslul yadaini. The first thing when you wake up, you must wash your hands. Now, okay, this is more in the context of pre-industrialization, more in the context of before we had piped water. People would have waters in utensils, in drums, whatever, earthenwares. So although today even we can still practice, if we do this, we still practice upon the sunnah, inshallah. In fact, if you look at the sunnah books, they say before you go to toilet, it's sunnah to wash your hands, right, etc. But just so now, you see, remember, just to go back, I want to tell you another things here. Remember when you make istinja, right? When you make istinja, right? If the najasat was very little, it was, we'll do this, it will come in a lot of detail when we come, inshallah. If when you went to make istinja, the najasat was lesser than the size of a 50-cent coin, then istinja is not faraz, it is sunnat, right? Are you with me? So now, because of the shortage of water in the desert, etc., many a times the Arabs, they would use a clay tablet to make istinja. Now, that clay tablet, it does not take the najasat away completely. It's not muzilun najasa. It doesn't take the najasat away. It's muqallilun najasa. It reduces the najasat. Are you with me? You with me so far? And as I told you, if the najasat is lesser than a 50-cent coin, all 50-cent coin, the inside of my palm, etc., then it's not for us to make istinja, right? So people who would, it was hot in the desert, etc., perspire, etc., etc. So now, if you never make najasat. Now the perspiration, maybe it goes there onto your private organ and then it flows away. Now when you are sleeping, you don't know where you're scratching. Maybe you scratch that perspiration, etc. Your hand is najis. Now you come to your utensil and you put your hand in your utensil. What will happen? All of that water will become najis. So the masla is this: if you woke up and you are certain there is najasat on your hand, then obviously it is necessary to wash your hand. But if you are not certain, it is better to wash your hand because in one hadith it says, فَإِنَّهُ لَا يَدْرِي أَيْنَ بَاتَتْ يَدُهُ. This person doesn't know where his hands spend the night. Maybe he scratched somewhere. So that's why it's better if you, so remember this nicely. If you are certain, then it is for us to wash your hand because you're going to contaminate the entire utensil. But if you are not certain, then it is sunnah to wash your hand first. Now, I'll tell you now, this, as I said, this is now the context of this. But even in today's day and age, even in today's day and age, we'll say even before you start your wudu, well, it is part of sunnah of wudu that you must wash your hands first before you gargle your mouth, you wash your nose, etc. Right? So, okay, read it. غسل اليدين قبل إدخالهما الإناء إذا استيقظ المتوضئ من نومه. So the first sunnah is the washing of the hands قبل إدخالهما, before entering them الإناء, into utensil. إذا استيقظ المتوضئ, when the person makes wudu, right, wakes up from his sleep. Carry on. إذا, yeah, that's a mazi. إذا استيقظ أحدكم, yeah, أين باتت يده is the fire, right? بقوله عليه السلام إذا استيقظ أحدكم من منامه فلا يغمسن يده في الإناء حتى يغسلها ثلاثا فإنه لا يدري أين باتت يده. Because of the statement of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that when any one of you awaken from his sleep, then he should not submerge, he should not submerge. And this noon ta'kid, فلا يغمسن يده, he should not submerge his hand fil ina'i, in the utensil, hatta yaghsilaha, until he washes it. There's hatta makes it mansub ne thalathan, because فإنه لا يدري, he does not know أين باتت يده, the file where his hand spent the night. I told you, you could have been scratching in an awkward place where, especially I told you, where you never make a full istinja with water, you use a clod of earth, so there's still some baqaya, reminiscence of the najasat there. So some of the najasat came onto your hand or something like that. Now you put it in the utensil, right? ولأن اليد آلة التطهير فتسن البداية بتنظيفها. So I told you, remember I told you this before, the unique feature about Hidaayah Sharif is it has a naqli dalil. First is naqli means a proof that comes from the Quran or Hadith, or even maybe from the statements of the Sahaba Ikram. Then after that, he tries to give you, not he tries, but he very beautifully gives you a logical reason for everything. And the logical reason is this, look here, you're going to use your hand to cleanse your body, to wash your face, etc. So it doesn't only stand to reason that your hand must be clean. How can you use a dirty hand? Say some najasat in your hand. Now you put that dirty hand. How are you going to use a dirty hand to cleanse the rest of your body? So that's your logical proof to say it is sunnah to wash your hands first. See, وَلِأَنَّ الْيَدَ, because the hand, آلَةُ التَّطْهِيرِ, it is an instrument, is a mean now to cleanse the rest of your body. فَتُسَنُّ الْبِدَايَةُ بِتَنْزِيفِهَا. So only stands to reason that it will be sunnah to then wash, to start, to be sunnah to start with cleansing it first, right? Carry on. You got there, rusghi or razghi? I think if I remember rusghi, you must check it. هذا الغسل. Remember I told you, ghusl is to bath and ghasl is to wash. So هذا الغسل, right? So this washing your hands, you only have to wash your ras. هذا الغسل إلى رزق لوقوع الكفاية به في التنظيف, because of you can say لوقوع, the occurring of sufficiency. There's a literal translation, but I'll explain you. في التنظيف. Look here, you're only going to use till your hand to wash. You're not going to push your whole arm into the bucket and to extract water. You're only going to use your hands to wash your face. You're not going to use your arms to wash. So just washing till the rest that is sufficient, right? So remember I told you, even today, in today's day and age, even if you're using piped water, etc., it's still sunnat. You make intention of sunnat, inshallah, you'll still get that reward when you wake up, before you brush your teeth, before, I bet you don't know, it's even masnoon to even wash your hands before you go to the toilet. Do you know that? Even masnoon, you see, we'll come across it in one of the kitabs. I remember coming across it. So you practice on the sunnat, inshallah, even though maybe it doesn't make so much, it's not so relevant today, but you'll still get that reward, inshallah. Carry on. You got fee ibtida'at tulu. Okay, I don't have fear. وَتَسْمِيَةُ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى ibtida' al-wudu'i. And then to take the name of Allah Ta'ala in the beginning of wudu. There's a copy there of Hidaayah Sharif. I explained to Rashid. That book is recent, not, and the author had done a great deal of effort. He took 50 manuscripts, 50 manuscripts from previous day, from Sahih Bidayah students or his students. He took 50 different books and he compared them and he came out with the most authentic. So that Hidaayah Sharif you have there, we bought it last year, it was over 3,500 rand. That is the most authentic copy of Hidaayah. So if we have any ikhtilaf in your copy, in my copy, and we want to know what is the correct thing, we must go to that kitab. In fact, we should keep that one here by us. So when there's difference, you look at that. He used 50. Normally when ulama publish, remember this publishing of kitabs and reading the manuscript, it's a science on its own. In Durban, you have Mufti Hussain Kadauja. He's a master in this. He specializes in gathering this manuscripts and all that type of thing. So, to have more knowledge about that. This is something you can even look at and do when you finish your studies. So, normally, when people publish books, they get 3 manuscripts, they get 4 manuscripts, and they use that. But here, he used 50 manuscripts. So you can imagine what type of effort went into the preparation of that. It is undoubtedly the most authentic uh, version of Hidaayah Sharif you'll get. Anyway, so we call it salam la wudu'a liman lam yusammi, because Nabi Sallam said there is no wudu for the person that does not take the name of Allah Ta'ala. Wal muradu bihi nafil fadilati, And what we mean by this is that if you take the name of, you don't take the name of Allah Ta'ala, then there's no barakah, there's no blessing. Remember we done this. كل أمر ذي بال لم يبدأ بسم الله تعالى فهو أجدر. Every matter of importance that is not taken, you don't take the name of Allah Ta'ala, فهو أجدر. Then it is useless, it doesn't have barakah, it is devoid, it is bereft of barakah. Then والأصح أنها مستحبة وإن سماها في الكتاب سنة. Yeah, this is now Sahib Hidaayah saying. He says here that the correct opinion. Remember when I told you to identify what is a fatwa, etc. Asah is the strongest word. Well, asah, the most preferred call, annaha mustahabbatun. It is mustahab, not sunnat. Sunnat is slightly lesser than mustahab. وإن سماها في الكتاب سنة, even though in the kitab they say sunnah, but actually it is mustahab to take the name of Allah Ta'ala when you start. Huh? والأصح أن مستحب إن سماها في الكتاب سنة. You correct, yeah, it's a مفعول there. Okay, we'll break there inshallah for the tafsir inshallah. Time link inshallah.